Blake Snell's contract extension with the Rays proves that owners have conquered MLB economics. On Thursday afternoon, this spring, putting pen to paper on a 5-year, $50 million agreement. Per MLB trade, this wave of contracts isn't unusual. Extensions are often negotiated and executed in spring training. Guthoff, it is mildly surprising that the Rays and Snell found common ground following a dispute earlier this month over Snell's 2019 salary. Despite the lefty, such dramatics will now be avoided. No pitcher as far, but like all the other players who have signed these new deals, Snell is also doing everything he can to steer clear of free agency, once the land of limitless financial opportunity. Snell surrendered. These extensions, then, are the recognition of they have all the power. It's a minefield that, understandably, no player wants to venture into. It's also one of the why would any player want to go through this? At every turn, it's worth noting that these deals are always wins for the team. The risk is minimal. This is all the new normal. Great players sign for contract extensions that give up free agent years. Younger players are, until and unless a new collective bargaining agreement changes the way players are paid early in their careers and or makes free agency a more open process, this is the way things will be going forward. Players will continue. Related slideshow, the 2019 MLB season provided by M&A.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.